أنا مبسوطة إن أنتي جيتي كده you touched on something that I want to open for discussion هنا اللي هي emotions because أنا يمكن 5-6 years ago with my life coach at the time كنت رايحة عشان في حاسة بحاجة كده هنا مش عارفة ده إيه هو بالظبط كده فشي زي أنتي عندك anxiety تمام يعني إيه ما هو يعني أنا بحب دايما الحاجات تبقى واضحة يعني ما بحبش اللي هو ده فقالت لي anxiety simply is emotions كتير دخلوا على بعض انت مش عارفه تفرقيهم من بعض. ف it resonated with me at the time and then it opened a journey of understanding emotion وانا دلوقتي في حته sweet spot كده بالنسبه لي جدا و I think this would be lovely to talk about and reflect on انه one لكل emotion لها frequency from an energy perspective and لها a kind of a mindful way to go by the emotion and from a point of view of a yoga أنا بالنسبة لي يعني the reason why I wouldn't be able to attend your classes because it released so much of the emotion where the emotion is actually stored in your body right فعايزة دلوقتي ان احنا نتكلم شوية بقى ايه على ال emotions where do you want to start Yasmin would you like to start from the mind about reflecting on emotions
طيب ممكن اسالكم سؤال حد اتفرج على الفيلم بتاع انسايد اوت
لسه بفكر فيه كنت لسه بفكر في الفيلم ده love it.
الفيلم ده بيتكلم على الايموشنز اوكي مش عايزه احرقه بس هو من الاخر يعني بيشجع يعني او بيورينا الثمن بتاع ان احنا بنشجع الهابينس والجوي واللذاذه والانبساط واول ما تيجي السادنس غطي وخبي عليها واعمل نفسك كويس وام فاين انا كله تمام انا كويس والثمن بيبقى حاجات كتيره قوي بتبقى زي ما قلت في الاول صداقاتنا علاقاتنا شغلنا حاجات كتيره قوي بتبقى ثمن لان انا I'm pretending that I'm fine I'm not respecting مشاعري مش مقدرها مش متعرف عليها اصلا من اول الحاجات اللي انا بعملها في السيشنز بتاعتي ان انا بشير مع الناس حاجه اسمها the feelings wheel the feelings wheel مقسومه لاتنين feelings بتطلع when our needs are met و feelings بتطلع when our needs are not met you can google it هتلاقوا اشكال كتيره قوي ليها والناس بتتخض من كميه المشاعر اللي جوانا اللي احنا اصلا ما نعرفش اسمها and we have to كده look it up هو ده اصلا ده معناه ايه من كتر ما جسمنا بيشيل كل المشاعر دي وهسألكوا سؤال if you watch something disgusting on television هل احساس الديسكاست ده هيروح بان انا I switch it off؟ no ممكن ابقى مش قادر اكل ممكن ابقى كل شويه الصوره بتيجي في دماغي ومش قادر لو شفت فيلم رعب وانا ماليش في افلام الرعب مش ممكن اكون وانا داخل انام كده متضايق مش مرتاح ف that's why الايموشنز دي احنا محتاجين نفهمها لانها بتدينا knowledge and we have knowledge and awareness of ourselves we tap into our power لاننا من غير understanding من غير ما افهم ان انا right now I am very sad right now I'm very embarrassed right now I feel very lonely I feel jealous كلنا عندنا jealousy بنسب بس كل ما انا اقول لنفسي انا في التمام انا ماليش في الكلام ده انا كويس كل ما انا هبقى بكدب على نفسي ومش قادر افهم نفسي ومش قادر افهم why I do the things that I do ليه stuck في حتة معينة في حياتي مش عارفة اتحرك منها ليه مش عارفة احقق الاهداف بتاعتي في حياتي and so on and so forth.
عايزة بس ازيد حتة واحدة احنا ليه بيبقى عندنا مشاعر اساسا خلق المشاعر ده عشان نتمتع بيها مشاعر الحب ومشاعر الطمأنينة كل دي مشاعر حلوة نتمتع بيها وعندنا عكسها عشان ندوق المشاعر الحلوة ما احنا مش هندوق الحلوة مش هنعرف الحلوة غير لما نعرف عكسها فعندنا ده وعندنا ده حتى مشاعر حتى الانكزايتي لما بيجي او حتى قلق او زهق ده بيجي كمحذر قبل ما تيجي الضربة فإتس لايك اتس وورنينج لما احس نفسي قلقانة او زهقانة دي حاجة كويسة ده وورنينج قبل ما يجيلي التعب فانتبه في ايه بيتعمل غلط انا ماشية بعمل ايه غلط فإتس لايك وورنينج ثينج قبل ما يجي الألم الأول ممكن يجي الألم الأول ما اخدش بالي يجي التاني يجي التالت and so on until ما اصحى واشوف في ايه بيتعمل غلط فبتيجي لحظة صدق which is normal, and the healing road هو مش straight line, it's ups and downs and spiral actually, ف it's normal. ولازم تختاري انت هترتاحي لايه. يعني انا من فتره، من كام يعني اكشلي من فتره قريبه حسيت برضو اني اتعرضت كده لحاجه ورحت عملت مساج، وانا بعمل مساج ابتديت تعيط، مادام ار يو اوكي، قلت لها كملي كملي انا فاهمه انت بتعملي ايه. فيس عندنا طرق كتيره جدا ان انت تخرجي وتفرغي ده، احنا لازم نفرغ المشاعر. وفي ثيرابي كتير، حتى طريقه سيدونا، انه تخيلي نفسك لو انت شايله حمل في ايدك وفاضله ماسكاه 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 ماسكاه، عضله ايدك هتبقى عامله ازاي وانس ان بتسيبي الحمل ده. فانت لما يو هولد اون مشاعر او انكزايتي كتير جواكي، انت شايفه كام ايد جوه ماسكه حاجات، فيور تايرد، فلازم تفرغي المشاعر دي. عشان كده ما نهربش من المشاعر، نعيش معاها، شوفيها وهي جايه وحسي بيها واقعدي معاها وفرغيها. وانس هتفرغيها كلها بالطريقه الصح، لو معاكي جايدنس صح، خلاص المشاعر دي مش ترجع تاني، لان هتبقي فرغتيها، هي مش موجوده، انت ما بتفرغيهاش تماما، فهي لسه موجوده. كنت لسه بقول انه المشاعر موجوده عشان نستمتع بيها اكشلي، وموجوده عشان نحسها ونحس بعكسها. بس.
So I was thinking how to best way to tackle this. So I think the way I would like to talk about it is, as Lita was saying, everything is energy. In the yogic system, you know, I'm sure, I don't know if most of you know or not, we have the chakras. So in the body we have the chakra system, which are main energy centers in our body. It starts at the base of our spine all the way till the crown of our head. Each one of these chakras and energy centers is responsible for certain emotions which relate and correlate to certain organs in our body. So if we're going to start with the root chakra, which is at the base of the spine, so that is, it correlates to our safety, our security, our grounding. If we're going into the sacral chakra, that's going to go into our desires, our creativity, our passion, our food, you know. And then when we go to the solar plexus, it's the eye, it's the power. Sorry? Creativity is more in the solar. So sorry, in the sacral. Yeah. In the sacral chakra. And then you have your heart chakra, which is the love, forgiveness, empathy, all sad, like, I think I'm not really, it's more about the openness. I wouldn't say it's this, I think this sadness could be more in the lower, but I believe in the heart, it's more of like the openness. It's love, compassion, empathy, joy. That's the heart. And then you go to the throat chakra, and then each one correlates to, like, the heart is related to the heart. And that's why when we really get hurt or stabbed, or, you know, there's something really deep happens, we have the وجع في قلبنا. يعني عندنا وجع في قلبك، انتي كأن حاجة دخلت جوه قلبك. And the journey of healing is really understanding that we all have these, you know, points in our, we've all been hurt in our life. We all have scars in our heart. But what we need to know is that these scars are really where the points where the light can come through. Because it's through these wounds and scars that we learn, we grow, and I don't know, it's like the light pours through them, you know, that's kind of how I see it in the heart. And then when we go to the throat, which is related to your throat, you know, the throat is زور. عارفين لما ساعات زورنا يبقى مكتوم قوي وعندك وجع في زورك، هو غالبا عندك حاجة عايزة تقوليها ما بتقوليهاش، يعني في حاجة مكتومة هنا كده، يعني it's like and it, yeah, so each one, what I'm trying to say is that each one of these energy centers relates to emotions. And then you have your third eye, and that's really our inner voices, our intuition. That's our drive, our ambition. And unfortunately, that inner voice, most of us are constantly, pushing it in the back because it doesn't align with, with the mind. It doesn't align with what we think we're supposed to be doing. And that's part of letting go of the conditioning. It's part of letting go of, you're supposed to do this and that. I'm not supposed to do anything. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do for me, honoring myself. I don't really give a hoot about, and that's why, as I first started off today, I'm really in this phase. I do not want any labels to define who I am. I'm in a process of exploring who I am, honoring the truth of myself. I'm seeking the truth of me. So don't throw any labels on my head. I'm not interested in those anymore. Maybe that comes with 50, I have no idea, but that's where I am. And that's where I'm happy to be. So it's, and then we have the crown of our head, which is our connection to our higher power, our source. So how does yoga work on all those? And, I decided to take it through these energy centers because when we do the yoga practice, I have many people that I'll find, I really started crying a lot after the practice. I'm like, that's great because we store a lot of the emotions in our body, in different parts of our body. And especially the ones we don't deal with, the ones that something happens and you cringe on your teeth and you're like, oh, I'm fine with that, and it's like, you're really not fine with that. It's right there, stored in there somewhere. So it's really lingering in there. And at some point, through the practice, you start to move, you get these emotions start to move through you, and honestly, it's beautiful when you go through a practice and you start to cry. I'm going to just, I'm going to be quiet because I can keep going on forever. And I know sometimes they get these talking phases, but I'm going to just share really, really quickly how I got into yoga really briefly. So in 2011, I moved to New York and I started doing yoga. I remember 2 years before, somebody took me to a yoga class of French. You have to try this. And after I finished, I'm like, are you serious? You want me to do that crap? I'm not doing that. That is not talking to me. Anyway, so I went to New York and I started taking classes and I started to really enjoy it. And as I said, I was doing it as a workout. 2012, I had something really kind of traumatizing happen in my life and I was totally physically collapsing. I couldn't do my regular workouts. I couldn't do what I usually do. The only thing I could do was yoga. So I just started doing yoga every day, all different types. In the beginning, I literally could barely move my arm. I was doing just really mellow things, started to build up. So I started doing yoga for a while and yoga brought me back to life. And when I came to that realization, I decided that this is what I'm going to study, this is what I'm going to learn, and this is what I want to share. And that's what I did. And really, yoga, all I can say, it did bring me back to life.